Secretary Pryor, according to McKinsey, innovative malls are incorporating value-added elements that attempt to recast the mall as the new downtown: concert, art centers, spas, fitness clubs, farmers markets. These services provide a level of leisure and entertainment that can never be satisfied online. With regard to Providence Place Mall, sales and tax revenue and occupancy continues to slide. From fiscal 18, $12.3 million represented a 14% drop. Fiscal 19, we're down to $10.8 million roughly. Given COVID, it's unimaginable how low sales tax receipts will be in fiscal 20. Accordingly, anchor tenants are in trouble and or leaving, like Macy's potentially. Questions: given the burden the mall continues to present to a nearly broken Providence, will the state avoid these deals in the future where sales tax are largely shifted from one retail sector to another, with the private state giving up millions in sales tax revenues in order to subsidize private venture construction? Importantly, has the state of Rhode Island engaged in any contact with Brookfield Properties to discuss the mall's rapidly declining fortunes? And does the future involve lowering sales tax and restaurant tax to invigorate downtown small merchants, as well as state-financed private-public partnerships?
There was a lot in that question. It is an insightful question. Yes, we've been in touch with Brookfield and its predecessor owners over the years and recently. We have been in discussions with Brookfield far preceding the COVID crisis. Obviously, the challenges faced by brick and mortar retail themselves precede COVID by a lot. Americans are shopping more online worldwide. People are shopping more online. Brick and mortar retail in its old form is increasingly outdated. People are looking for more of an experience when they visit a destination like a mall, or in some instances, whatever real estate was occupied by a mall as it's reinvented. So those are the kinds of moves that Brookfield and other major mall operators across the globe do need to consider. On the lessons learned that you're asking about, I don't think it's obvious that the problem in creating Providence Place Mall was the dedication of sales taxes to enable that mall to have its very long and successful run. I don't think that's the lesson. We have not been in discussions with the mall's ownership about any official role for the state around such a mechanism or further subsidy. It has not arisen yet, per se, not to my knowledge, and I don't believe at all. But I do think that what you're on to is the more important point, which is that malls need to reinvent themselves as centers of entertainment, and they need to consider COVID factors. So what forms of recreation will Americans, will certainly Rhode Islanders, engage in? And we're up for that dialogue. It's a very complicated question.
But just one quick point. Largely, downtown Providence has been decimated in terms of its retail presence. The presence of a mall acted to siphon a significant amount of business from downtown merchants to this location, which is now largely becoming functionally obsolete. Add COVID to the equation, and you've got an implosion happening in the small retail markets here in Rhode Island, and as a result, the true future tax base of Rhode Island is in critical condition.
Well, that's not a question, that's a set of assumptions. I'd say that I'd love the dialogue about it, but I don't think the immediate conclusion one can draw about every single mall ever created, including central downtown malls with some outward-facing retail, like Providence Place Mall, that include other functions like movie theaters and other forms of entertainment already, that one can conclude the reason downtown is failing is that mall. I think that would be a stretch. I do think that the age of centralized interior-facing retail is at least in part over, and that we need to look to more creative mechanisms. You should note that under Governor Raimondo, we created from scratch a Main Streets program where we helped Main Streets across Rhode Island revitalize themselves. Things like facade improvements at small business locations, usually retailers, whether it's curb cuts or granite curbs or better lighting, to make our Main Streets successful. And we've gone on to do a lot more to help small business, including the state's first ever state-financed small business loan program, all out of recognition that decentralized retail that has more of a homegrown neighborhood feel is more the future, and that as to centralized entertainment kinds of experiences, that's more what a mall needs to become. So would welcome further dialogue in the future, but I think that's responsive for now.